Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Wealth Around Us. On this video, I wanted to go over the thoughts and mentality behind bug-out vehicles as I know them, and wanted to share a couple of things with you guys on the subject of bug-out vehicles. I've done a few videos on the old CRV bug-out vehicle, but we're moving into new territory here, so I thought I would just weigh my 2 cents in. Well, first off, let me give you an update on the CRV. It's mostly scrap. When we when I actually sent my agents to go find it the next day, they found that people had already rifled through it and stole a bunch of my bug-out gear and a fishing pole and just a bunch of this nonsense. So, yeah, my faith in people in Atlanta is at an all-time low, in case you haven't been keeping up on current events with me. But I'm still laid up in bed, and I'm looking at a new car. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the larger, more serious bug-out vehicle type vehicles that have been mentioned in other channels and on other preppers' sites. So we decided we're going to go ahead and break it down to the Toyota FJ Cruiser, which is, I'm looking at this one right now, they just dropped at $1,000, and it's now right in my price range, so I'm really looking hard at it, and it's a nice truck, don't get me wrong. I've heard mostly good things about it, although the people are saying the blind spots. Well, I can deal with blind spots. You know, I've driven big trucks before, and I know that sort of thing. The main reasons we're going for this vehicle is, one, it's a mid-size. I know it's a little bit bigger than a normal, mid-size, like a 4Runner or something you might see, but in hindsight, it doesn't really have a lot of bad things going for it in terms of being a bug-out vehicle. We've got our roof rack already in place. There's no carpet inside of it to get nasty. I'll tell you, that's one of the biggest things with Hondas that I have a pet peeve with, is in Georgia we have red clay, and that red clay, it doesn't matter how hard you try, you can bang your feet out like I do, you can brush them off, you can wash them off. You're still going to track Georgia red clay, and it's going to get ground into the carpet in a way that it doesn't come out. It's just a fact of Georgia. And one thing I like about this car, and it is for any kind of bug-out vehicle purposes, is it doesn't have any carpet in it. And it also doesn't have fabric seats. They're waterproof seats. So that's another good thing. If you get it dirty, just get a bucket and some water and a rag, wash it out. I like that. Another thing I like about this car is its construction. It has a full ladder frame. It's based on the Tacoma frame. Engine's a little bigger than I would like it, but then again, I would like a bigger motor and have a little more power off-road than I would, say, a smaller one. It's more fuel efficient, like the CRV. Now, the CRV was a funny case. It was what I call soft-roading. And with this car, we're talking about serious off-roading rather than soft-roading, which is a big added plus. Another thing is, around back here, somewhere in the back, there is an inverter and a power outlet just built in. So you can plug up your, household devices just right off the car without any kind of modifications like I had to do with the CRV. That, when combined with a light bar and a solar panel on the roof rack here in this unused space, will do a hell of a lot when wired back into the battery and whatnot, because that'll actually make it a solar generator. The problem with this car, as I said, engine displacement. It turns out if you get it an aftermarket high-performance cold air intake, it actually gets up to about 24 miles a gallon, which is totally within my range. That's acceptable for me. A lot of times, the way I drove, I wasn't getting 24 miles a gallon out of the CRV to begin with. So, but that's its own whole ball of worms. And what I planned for this thing is perhaps, or I know actually I'm going to save up and get a brush gate for the front. I want something that deflects minivans with distracted drivers at the wheel. I've definitely decided whatever car, if I get a Saturn, it's going to have a train-like front rattle gate on it, and that's just because I've learned my lesson from driving in Atlanta. Another thing about it is that they're hard to find. This is the only one near me that I could find that is for sale. Otherwise, people are keeping them. They're holding on to them. So that says something to me. That says worlds. If people are not getting out of them very easily, that tells me that they're a decent car worth holding on to. As I understand it, Japan, a lot of the companies are buying these back from people who have bought them used. So that's another testament to its quality. And the fact that they drive these things presently all the way across New Zealand, all the way across Australia, all the way across South Africa. And if you break down in those places, you can die. And that's part of the idea of a bug out vehicle. It needs to be reliable, and these things are rock solid reliable. The second runner-up, excuse me, I've been laying down a lot. I got fluid on my chest. But the next runner-up, if I cannot find one of these puppies, I believe I'm going to try to grab this one, though. I've already talked to the guy, and he's real willing to sell it. Is going to be this guy right here, and I'll bring up the secondary picture for you so you can get a better look at it. Nope, that is not it. But this is a '06 Ridgeline, as you can see. Let me bring up a extra little picture there. Wi-Fi is a little slow. A storm is coming in. That's the shot I like of it right there. And here's the idea with the Ridgeline. Now, the FJ can tow stuff. The Ridgeline can tow stuff. They can tow actually about the same amount, about 5,000 pounds on a trailer. The Ridgeline has the added advantage of a VTEC motor, which they get really good gas mileage, and they have a lot of power. I don't know if it has as much power as that Toyota VVI, because they're almost the same thing, except the Toyota's a 4.0 and this is a 3.5. As I understand it, this model may have variable valve control, I'm not sure, but variable cylinder control, which turns it into an inline 3 for added gas mileage. I know this one gets just stock right out of the factory, better gas mileage than the FJ, but not by much. It gets a broader range. It gets from 15 to 24, or 23 rather, than the FJ gets from around 17 to 23. So, you know, it's really not much of a trade-off as far as gas mileage and engine displacement goes. I do know that the Toyota model is a little more powerful than the Ridgeline motor, but the Ridgeline motor in turn is probably going to be a little more durable for you. I know Ridgeline motors are more compact, and that's just from knowing Toyota versus... Toyota's going to be a lot more American-like and like truck-like, and Honda's going to be the one that's got all the weird backward stuff that you've never even thought of. But a couple of the big advantages is that this thing is an SUV. You know, it's a four-door for easy access, good for carrying people. The back seats do fold up to add an extra cargo space. The bed's not as big as a standard pickup. No, I understand that, but it also has, in this area, it has an underbed trunk. It has a trunk under the bed, which would easily hold all of the stuff I had in the CR-V, so that would be an added plus. As far as camping potential and whatnot, both of these cars you'd be having to basically, if you're not sleeping in the back seat, you're sleeping in the bed under some kind, they make the soft top for them. And it's by the Soft Toppers. And it looks really cool. It's a retractable soft top, makes it kind of look like a Jeep back here, and it's got enough room to, you know, throw a bed pad back there and sleep, which is about as good as I'm getting, because the slide-in camper idea kind of fell through when I started looking at trucks, at American, like Chevrolet trucks and stuff like that. I could have my picking for what I'm getting, but basically I've just turned away from in terms of reliability and gas mileage. It's probably not going to be doable for me. That's not to say, you know, someone else might not be able to get away with it. I'm just saying, for me, I'm going to go with the foreign route. The drawbacks, I believe, of a Ridgeline are going to be that, one, no slide-in camper. Can't do that. We're going to be kind of limited for lift kits and whatnot. We can get stuff like, I saw Nitto tires for these to jack them up at least another 2 inches, and that's fine for me. They aren't necessarily meant for heavy off-road. They're designed for moderate off-road, which is just about whatever anyone's doing anyway. But from what I've seen on the internet, let's go ahead and compare here. Now, this is the FJ, and the idea of being able to take your doors off, that's 2 times extra cool. But that's pretty damn impressive for a stock FJ. That's pretty wild. And let's see that again. Okay, keep in mind this is a stick shift too, and he should have had his A-track on, and he would have got up that a lot easier. But hey, you know, he did it, and he didn't, you know, break anything. So, and now let's have a look at the Ridgeline. Now, the thing about the Ridgeline is it doesn't have a dedicated low transfer case. It just has a low first gear, which it's going to use when it's digging in off-road in the all-wheel drive. But as you can see, that's, you know, that's not a lawn. That's some pretty gobby stuff that I would have gone up it in the CRV, but I would have been off here onto the sides of the road, like coming up sideways like that. So seems a little less than, say, here, let's see what these little Jeeps will do. I would go with one of these, but I'm just tired of small. I'm not doing the crossover small thing anymore. I'm not doing it. I damn near got killed in the last one I had, so.
Alright. You made it. Safe and sound.
Let's see what the Ridgeline does again.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, tires are everything, and these bozos probably aren't using the right tires on either one of them. Yes, the Jeep is stuck.
As long as he's moving, that's what counts. Alright.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Had a little trouble there where the Jeep was, too. Got sunk in real good was the problem. Neither one of them's got the tires for it. But considering that's street tires, he's having a little trouble. But there he goes. So as you can clearly see, it'll do it. But I am, let's just say I am unconvinced thus far of the Ridgeline's potential as an off-road vehicle, even though I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and this is not bad. Not bad. I could have done that in a CRV, but then again...
Mud pusher!
But as you can see, it spins the tires a lot, rather than... It has a locker, and it locks that diff, but only when it wants to. So you got to just kind of let the Ridgeline's four-wheel drive system do what it will. And I don't know about that, but the FJ, you easily have the option of manual 6-speed or just manual automatic.
Very nice. Very nice.
But yeah, in hindsight, looking back, I think for me, I will be going with this platform, and we'll probably be adding like I said, a mud guard, a light bar, solar panel, and a couple of jerry cans up here for fuel. And as far as the Ridgeline goes, well, the Ridgeline, I will be probably grabbing one of those soft tops for it and convert the bed over to something that you can camp under. And there is a light bar that I noticed you can buy, although the light are back here. I'm sure you could angle them up or down or to the side. And, I mean, it's got ample ground clearance. I don't know if it's the best ground clearance I ever saw, but it's comparable. And the FJ has probably got a little more just stock. And another thing is the wheelbase. You know, the FJ is going to be a shorter wheelbase. This is a longer wheelbase, like a standard full size. And so, with an added light bar, perhaps a brush gate on the front. There's going to be a brush gate on either one of them. As far as that, though, there's not a lot of options I have for the Ridgeline as far as off-road parts, and there is a few options for the Toyota. So just in all out, just common sense versus common sense, pros and cons, a nuts and bolts issue, it would have been the winner, would have been the FJ Cruiser. So that's what I think I'm going with. So thanks for watching, everybody, and always remember, there's a wealth around you. Keep me updated, and if you have any comments about the FJ Cruiser or the Ridgeline decision, please comment below. Thanks for watching.